Well, hello, and welcome back to Black Hammer Artists. And today,
well, hello, and welcome to Black Hammer Artisan. And in today's video,
we are going to be switching places. Today, I'm going to be the cameraman, and he's the blacksmith.
we're gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna be walking Joseph through the basics of using a camera and trying to get some decent shots.
And I'm going to walk in through the basics of forging a blacksmith knife, and we'll have a laugh.
Okay, so basics of using a camera. Obviously, you've got your record button right here that you'll press. You can see it's got the little red dot. It's recording. You press it again and it ends. The next thing, you've got your basic zoom. So that's this little dial right here. Zooms in, zooms out. Not to be confused with this dial right here, which is the focus. I'm debating whether to put it on autofocus or manual focus. I just hate autofocus because it sucks. But manual focus is a little bit more advanced because you have to make sure that what you're looking at is actually in focus. The other thing is where you position the camera. You want to try and get dynamic shots, which means you want to change the position and the zoom and the angles and all that of the camera. For you though, probably best to just stick with a tripod. And remember, it's fragile, so don't break anything. Brute force is not the name of the game with this tool.
Believe it or not, it's actually not with blacksmithing.
Blast, how do you even tell when it's in focus?
Okay, so what we're working with here today, we're going to be making a blacksmith knife. There's a line right here.
The halfway point.
Set halfway point. This side of the point is going to be the handle. This side is going to be the blade. So what you're going to do, you're going to take these tongs, which are bolt jaw tongs, V-bit bolt jaw tongs. You're going to line, and you can see it's on both sides. Those marks up were just this side of them on the corner of the anvil, and you're going to take your hammer and strike. So it's going to create what's called a shoulder. This side's going to be unaffected. There'll be a flat here and a taper going this way. You understand that?
You heat it up. Hold it like this.
Except for the other way. Yeah. Oh wait, no. You're right.
Hold it like
Go ahead.
this on the anvil. Are we doing the blade first or the handle first?
Handle first.
We're doing the handle first.
Handle first. That's the way it's always done with blacksmith knives. It's kind of the opposite of regular knives.
Okay.
Historically, these are actually extremely affordable knives because they're just one piece of metal. There's nothing fancy to them at all, and there's nothing expensive about them. So they're like a really happy, kind of nice little price that you can get them for. All right, you want to do your first heat?
Yeah, let's do our first heat.
And obviously there'll be a lot more to it than that. I guess.
Forget to cut the camera.
Oh yeah.
Alright, that's a pretty good heat. I want to get it out here real quick because
Trying to get a better angle on it with the tongs. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, this down.
So, this is more about careful. Are the marks lined up?
Yeah.
Make a real clear, stark line. There you go. That's pretty good.
Get back here.
I drop things a lot of times too.
Sure, bury it enough. Let's get in there.
Darn exposure.
Just a little wheel on the front there.
I know, like, oh, there we go. There we go.
So we burnt it in half. This is one half. And this is the other half. So
I was gone. I could have told you that was going to happen, except for I didn't realize that was going on. So, yeah.
So try to. Guys, Joey's not here. Let me fix this. Alrighty, so this is the second billet we have for today. I'm gonna try not to burn this one in half this time, so we will see how it goes. Gonna put this second attempt into the forge. That'll probably work. But
Next heat, I would probably take and start out the heat by. Maybe you don't even have to start out the next heat. Maybe you can do it now, but it depends on whether you want to push it or not.
see that the way the tongs.
Yeah, what you do is you pin it to the anvil with the hammer, and then you scoop the tongs forward.
Oh, is that so? Hey, that makes sense.
Taking off a little bitty cold shut there. Yeah, feels pretty good. Yeah. One thing that is important to know as you're getting thinner is that you keep on working this into a colder section like you would a bigger piece, and it will split. So this right now is like 6 3/4. So you're going to want at least a 3.5 inch handle. Just keep on the course you are, and I think it'll wind up pretty good. 3.5 inches minimum, but you could definitely go.
I think I burned it a little bit.
Afraid of that. Not the end of the world. It's just the very tip of it. However, it is the beginning of the end of the world. You're doing good. Focus more on the end.
Drawing it out more.
Drawing it down. Yeah. That's the way you go.
Better for this part.
Good, good. And another thing that some people don't actually know is that if you hit, wherever you hit, it will actually heat up. So if you can, and that's not advisable by the way at this point, but if you can hit hard enough on like a big piece, especially if you have like a power hammer or something, you can actually keep heating it for a really long time. Now when you see the metal sweat like that, it's an indication that it's up to pretty good hot heat. Not sparking heat probably, but maybe a nice more flowing heat.
About 7 inches. Yeah.
just a little over. So yeah, I probably would draw it out a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go for it. So chamfering is next.
Chamfering is next, and honestly, you can do that cold.
And for the viewers who may not know, chamfering is essentially just beveling.
Yeah, definitely knocking the corners off, whatever you want to call it. Chamfering is one thing you can call it.
One little term for it.
Right, so it is. So it is. That there.
You're standing in my light.
Right. Normally, that's a blessing. Right now, there's no heat to protect.
Exactly. Chicken on a can of Coke. We think I just got just a few little sharp edges here in the end. Wouldn't mind knocking them down a little bit.
Go on now, and
I'm doing it.
do it best. Come back when the day is done. There you go. Lovely, lovely. Keep going. That's good.
Like that. Nice little hook. So do I bend over like this?
Yeah. I put it off the end of the anvil a little bit and kind of hit the actual curl itself. No, I mean like here. Stop. Hit down on there and hit right there.
Like this?
Yeah, okay. Just to curl it in a little more. And they're good for a lot of things, just not this much.
Heat it up again.
Just doing it. That is pretty satisfying how that curls. See how the metal sweated?
Yeah.
I'd immediately go to curling that because you're going to lose the heat
Yeah.
of it very quickly.
Now that's weird how it does that.
You see how thin that little wisp got on the inside there?
Uh-huh.
That's because of the scale.
Yeah. The scale is essentially burning off the outer skin of it each time.
Yeah, and the more oxygen that's in there, the more scale it takes.
So, that's how it's looking. Not too shabby, I think.
You got it the right direction? Yes, you do. And bend. Put a little more force into it than that.
So I gotta get it in the right spot.
So it looks like you did it a little bit too far this way. That can be corrected.
Right. Just like this.
Yeah. Kind of here. I don't think so springy, it may be of no use, but yeah, we'll go that way.
It doesn't reach.
Here. This is definitely an experience thing. It does get easier.
I'm gonna try and bend this back a little. Oh dear.
That's an interesting tactic.
I don't know if it'll work, but I'm gonna try.
By taking the curl, let's try and make it as level. No, that was wrong.
Right there. A twist.
Try and make it in one heat here for sure. It's much harder here.
Camera's in the way.
After which I would pull it out and go to it. Immediately, while you still have a little bit of heat.
Yeah. So this is where I got it. I just heated this up, curled this in a little bit, straightened it out, and now we're gonna move on to forging the blade. See that?
Well, not
Just gonna cut this off here because I burned try and get that out a little bit. There we go. It's looking pretty good. Not noticing that. Spreading it out. Looks good.
A little close to comfort. There, I don't think it looks too bad.
I like that. I like this.
Yeah.
Honestly. The next thing we're gonna do, if I understand my jargon right, is anneal the blade, where we're gonna leave it in the fire overnight, and that'll allow the heat to work through it and de-stress it from all the hammering and twisting and all that, particularly the blade. This also begs one question though. Why is it called annealing? The story goes that there was a man named Neil who got so stressed that it made him cold-hearted, and his wife got so sick of it that she threw him in the fire overnight. And there was a radical change in the morning. Anyways, we're just gonna bury this right in here. We'll wanna bring it up to like a bright red, but not a yellow. And once we get it there, we'll just leave it and it'll cool down slowly overnight. Alrighty, so this is it after we pulled it out of the fire. I'm gonna lock it in the vise and do some profiling. Just working on the edge a little bit and beveling down from this angle. I already did this, which leveled out that edge a bit. Maybe do it a little bit more here actually. Did you get the idea? And then I'm just working on beveling the blade down to that edge. It's gonna take a little while, but it's coming along. There you can see that edge is thinning down. Just preheating up the oil here, getting it all nice and liquidy instead of its frozen state. Alrighty, and in for the quench. Just finished quenching it. It passed the file test, and now we are going to temper the blade. Just letting that heat get in there, softening the metal. It's important to face the spine downwards because you want that to be softer than the edge of the blade. I'm walking on thin ice.
You're arresting the temper.
I was arresting the temper. I arrested the temper. Alrighty, so here we have it. It's kind of a fun project. I think it turned out pretty good, you know? Alrighty, hand that camera to me. that about sums it up. Thank you for making it this far in the video. We appreciate it. This was a really fun project for me. As much as I've been around blacksmithing, I haven't really put my hand to it very much, so it was interesting actually putting into practice some of the things that I had heard and seen. And I have to say, towards the beginning, I was pretty absent-minded. I was much more focused on where the camera was still, and I was...
But yeah, it was a very interesting process. I figured out how difficult it is to both adjust your exposure and your focus while moving the camera. And I think Justin had his share of things that he learned.
Yeah, it was funny. After I annealed it, I went inside and I kind of feeling a couple different marks on my hands and stuff, and I was like, where'd these come from? I was like, oh yeah, that's where I got that burn.
That's why Joseph always has all these little scars on the backs of his hand.
If you would like to support us in the work we do here, then join the clan over on Patreon, and we'd very much appreciate it.
And we'd like to give a special thank you to Eddie Balsia, or I hope I pronounced your name correctly. He is our first clan elder, so if you would like to also become a clan elder and get your name put on a plaque and hung where we can see it, we would very much appreciate that. Until next time,
Farewell.
wherever you pick.
Hey! Hey! Slowpoke! Twinkle toes! Old man!